Hello, any faithful followers, the very few I have at the moment. Going to do an oil change on the Vulcan Nomad 1600, year 2007. There is a sump plug at the very bottom of the motorbike, but there is also another plug where there is a filter inside the engine before it goes to the changeable filter. So I've just taken the bike for a run, got it a bit warm. So I've got a sump, the drain thing, plus I've got my mat on the cement. So right underneath you'll see a sump plug here. That's the sump plug. Now mine has been stripped and there's been another thread put in there. But this one here on the side, there is a filter in there, and it's, as you can see looking at the bottom, it is actually lower than the sump plug. So rather than upsetting my sump plug that has been threaded and re-tapped, and so I don't know if that's in focus, but let's try this. I don't want to get oil on my phone. I've got it finger tight. Just going to let it drain a bit. It's hard videoing it without getting... Just going to stop and take it out. The plug. But in here there's a filter. It's got to get it out. Getting sore. Looks like I didn't get it quite sitting right last time. I'll have to try and straighten it. But that filter will pick up some grot before it goes into the other filter. It's like a pre-filter to the oil filter. So that's just going to drain. And then I'm going to have to change the oil filter there. New Kawasaki filter there to put in. So it's just a matter of leaving it drip. Leave it for a while, let it drip right out. I'll have to take the filter out shortly. I did end up taking the proper sump plug out because I hadn't done it for a while, but I had to be careful not to over tighten it. Literally no oil came out of it anyway, so. Okay, so I've got an oil filter remover. You don't have to over tighten these, but obviously you don't want them to drip. So it depends on how tight you've done it, whether you can... I've obviously done it over too tight. Got to get it around the right way so it'll hold. Get it to grip. Maybe I've fairly tightened that last time I did it. Anyway, I've got it loose now. Hopefully enough to get my hand on it. And then get the pan underneath it. Comes some more oil. So take the filter. Now this is the oil I use on my bike. It's a Technosynthesis. It's a synthetic oil. Motor will have been using it for quite a while. I like it. Before we put the new oil filter on, I'm going to... might have to wait for it to finish dripping a bit more, but I'll be wiping around the surface here, making sure that's all good. Give that a clean with a clean rag. So getting the new oil filter, it's got a bit of grease on there actually, but usually I like to get a bit of oil. This is what you usually do anyway, get a bit of oil on your finger and just wipe it around the filter. Now we've lubricated the O-ring, even though I might not have needed to. Place it back in place. do it up with your hand, nice and firm. What do I do? Give it a little nip, a little bit of a turn, and I'll leave it at that. Okay, so I've just taken that one chock off and leaned my bike a little bit more, just because that's filter things on this side, so it'll drain a little bit more oil. It's dripping a bit faster again now. Get as much oil out as I can. So the bike's been sitting for a while. Dripping's almost finished. So I'm going to start putting the sieve back in. Okay, so I've got the filter. Rubber ring goes on the inside, like that. It goes on the inside like that. Okay, so then we've got to get this to go over get that to go in, get it straight, push against the spring, try and push it so I can get it in straight. It's been a real pain today. Okay, I've got it started. It's very oily. Bit of a wipe. It's hard when your fingers are so slippery. It's a 17mm spanner as well. And of course I had to clean the O-ring on it. They say to replace the O-ring, but it looks pretty good. And I'll have to get some new O-rings next time I do all my oil changes. Okay, it's starting to tighten up. Now, because I've got to be careful not to overdo it, so I'm just going to give it a little nip, but it's firm. Okay, so now I'm going to put this chock back under here to get the bike a bit more level. It's a little more level, so I can put some oil in. There is a sight window down here, which will tell me when I've reached. Once I have to hold the bike level, will tell me what I've reached. So I'm going to take that off and put some oil in there. Obviously need something wide. There is a special tool in the bike, but too lazy to get it out. So I'm using my faithful chisel. I shall use a spatula to loosen it. So this is where I fill the oil up, which is on the right side of the bike. The oil filler section. Check the O-ring. It's probably okay because I don't have any new one at the moment. Didn't get anything new. So the bottle I have that I used last time has about 1.25 litres. So I'm going to need a bit more, 2.5, 2.8 or something like that for the bike. Because I'll have to look the book up, but I'm just going to put this first 1.25 litres in, see where it goes to. The bike's not quite fully straight yet, so, and then has a pourer nozzle, so I'm just going to use that, pour that in. Once we get this in, we'll see how far it's gone. Flip that around like that to get it all. Probably going to be hard to get the last little dribble without using. But I'll put another 1/2 litre or 1 litre in and we'll see how it's going. A little bit more. Once I get it near the high, I'll give it a run. Let it run through the filter, leave it sit for a bit and then double check it. Make sure the oil's gone all through the filter and through the engine and run down again. Okay, so we're going to give it a start up. And just run it a little bit, let the oil work through and then let it sit for a bit and we'll check it. Take it out of gear. So I'll leave it sit a bit, let the oil stop and then recheck it. Maybe it's a bit low still. Now the oil's run through. Okay, so I've probably put about 2 litres, 2.25 litres in. The book says after the filter's been removed at 3.1 litres. If it's totally dry, 3.5. So I'm probably going to have to put another half a litre or a litre in there, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to do a bit at a time, so I'd rather not overfill it. And of course the engine's been run, so the filter will be full of oil. It's got to be between that lower notch there and the higher notch. So the bike's about level. Just going to put a little bit more in. Doesn't have to be right up exactly to the high level, because once it goes over that it'll be over full. Let's get the bike looking level. It's about level. That's pretty good. I'm leaving it at that. Now we've got the oil to something we're happy with at the moment. Until we have a good ride. Take it for a spin and get everything settled and see how it all looks. We'll do up the oil filler cap. That's it. All done. Take it for a ride and then I'll check everything else to check for leaks. So, thanks for watching my video. That's how Riles changes his oil in his Vulcan Nomad. Please like, subscribe and watch all my other videos.